Hi guys, and welcome back. So, I want to keep going a little bit with this whole speed build thing. Um, and today we I say we like there's multiple people. I want to work on Tigger's house. So, if you don't know, for Tigger we have the villager Rowan as our Tigger on this island, and based off of the map. Um, we have sort of those last air. Tigger's house is one of the last areas before we have to then cross the river and work on everything else. I wanted to make everything I kind of want to go by chunks, given that we have an actual map to base the island off of. So, I want to start with basically what's before the rivers first. And then we'll get to that all eventually in good time. So let me show you what area we're working on right now. So pretty much this area from the left of the entrance and the resident services is pretty much we have to work with. I might also put Rudy's house here, mainly because Rudy, like Tipper, is another villager who isn't really based off of a Winnie the Pooh character. I only have Rudy because I always told myself that if I was going to do a cottage core island, I would have Rudy on that island. He's not based off of a stuffed animal I had as a kid. He's not based on any actual character from Winnie the Pooh that I know of. He's just here for fun, and thus he obviously doesn't have a place to be put on the map like Tipper. And Tipper, I put her with Eeyore. Rudy, I think I'm going to put with Rowan. So we have a bit to work on. We have some waterscaping to do. We have some moving the houses around. We have some interior redesigns. And we have some decorating to do. So, without any further ado, let's get into the speed build. Hi there, voiceover me again. First off, we're just starting with the framework of everything. The river, we're adding the river, terraforming that. And then I'm gonna start marking out where the villager homes are gonna be, just so I know that I have room to fit both of them. And then also put a bridge so that I and the villagers and whoever tours this island can actually get to the other side of it. Very basic. Just, like I said, creating the outline of where things are before actually putting trees and items and the houses themselves. Next, we got the villager home interior, starting with Rowan. Tigger's house is just like Owl, portrayed as a tree house sometimes, but sometimes it's not. And I don't want to do another tree house build, so we're just going to go with the one instance where it's not. If you remember the house build for Ed, who was Eeyore, I kind of want to have the houses reflect the theory that the characters are based off of mental illnesses or disorders. And Tigger is based off of ADHD. Now, people with ADHD often find it very hard to focus and complete tasks or try to do everything at once sometimes. So I wanted the house to kind of reflect that Rowan hasn't finished moving in. He hasn't finished the laundry, he hasn't finished the dishes, he hasn't even finished unpacking everything in his house because he's just focused on wanting to get out in the world and play with everybody and be involved in the community. And so he doesn't really focus all his attention on things productively. Honestly, gave me a really good excuse to not decorate the walls and just put boxes around. Anywhere I can save time. For Rudy, you'll see that I had an idea and then I had to scrap it so I can put a stove and a DIY workbench down. But for Rudy, I wanted to reuse this idea that I used for Dina's house on my last island, where I created kind of this like uh backyard patio. So I kind of already cut the room in half as is, so it didn't leave me with much else room. I did want to use the mid chair though, because he is a jock, so I did want to include something jock related, as well as the skateboard rack on the wall. Now it's time for the outside, and I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I was a bit lazy. I don't know why. My creative juices were not flowing with this one. And so it led me to kind of just do whatever. Like, there were items that I wanted to use. Like, as you'll see, there's like a basketball hoop. I wanted to include that because they're both jocks. But then, like, the space I put it in, I didn't like it. I used these like garden plank things, and then I hated that, so I changed it afterwards as well. There were items I wanted to use and then didn't, or because either I couldn't fit them, or the areas that I had left like wouldn't make sense, or this wasn't my strongest, honestly. Outside of trees and flowers, of course I planted what I wanted to stunt and some apple trees, let those grow in, stunted them. I don't know, this in retrospect, like, I came into this a little like too ambitious, because like I was like, oh my god, there's gonna be so I basically like overestimated how much room I had. Actually, that was my biggest downfall here. I will admit that this makeshift gate using the wood partitions was honestly really nice. But like outside of that, like, I don't know what happened really. It all just ended up feeling like a mismatch of things that made sense, but at the same time didn't. Don't even get me started on the area above by the resident services. I truly had no idea what I was doing there. I can't explain that to you to save my life. It really can't. So enjoy this collage and I will see you all at the end. And that brings us to the end of the video. As you guys saw, I'm not completely happy with how this came out. It's definitely very nice. Also, I love that both Rudy and Rowan are actually both home right now. Love to see it. I didn't even touch this area here. I'll figure something out here. I'll figure something out for this basketball hoop, if I'm even gonna keep it or not. I'll figure all of this out. Dizzy seems to be enjoying it though. Anyways, I'll figure it out. I think it'll take me some getting used to. I need some time. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that the interiors gave you all some inspiration. I did make a mistake with Rudy's house that I have to fix. I'm gonna do that off camera, and that's a mistake done with the flooring. I'm gonna show the picture of Dina's house again. In Dina's house, I actually had a grassy flooring, and then for the outside and then on the inside, I just put those rugs that look like wood on the inside to make it fit. Where Rudy's house, I didn't do that, and so the outside patio, I guess you can say it looks like a deck. I might either make the outside look more like a deck and put a different color rug, or do what I did for Dina. But I have to fix that because I don't like how it looks now, and I realized that when watching back the footage I didn't do that. Outside of that, might move some things around here and there. In terms of what's next, I don't know. I don't know if I want to start going to the left or upwards on the island. Well, above the resident services is my house, which I like to make the house its own separate video and keep that more towards later. I want to make sure I have everything set in place first. But my house is in its permanent spot essentially. But that's it for me for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.